this team is they never let you feel good about them for even like 5 minutes. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Reds 2, Pirates 1. Pirates with only 3 hits. All of this just a few hours after what had to be considered by everybody to be one of their more uplifting wins of the season, dunking on the playoff desperate Reds in front of the mostly packed house in a big, dramatic, persistent, look at us, we're hanging in there kind of way. Doesn't matter because they can't hit. 2 singles and a double yesterday, 1 whole walk, 14 strikeouts. That, my friends, is almost everything you need to know about the 2025 Pirates. And the only reason I say almost is because Paul Skeens also exists. That's it. They are 69 and 90. They are officially a 90-loss team. Territory that's way too familiar in these parts. They've regressed in every conceivable area except Skeens. And by the time I'm back, meaning from Dublin, Ireland, where I'll be covering Steelers versus Vikings Sunday at Croke Park, I'll be back not Monday, but Tuesday. I fully expect there to be a change at general manager. Not just fully hope, fully wish, fully expect there to be a change there. Now, does that mean that absolutely everybody goes? No. But it does mean that baseball ops take on a wholly different shape because that's how it always occurs when there's a change at that particular position. I've never known of any GM who walks in and says, all of you out of here. Because in doing so, that person would probably make way more problems than they'd be solving. There are, believe it or not, good people in the Pirates' employ. There are good people at all levels. There are also people that are, not so good at what they do. But that determination, from scouting to development to analytics to major league instruction to major league strategies and philosophies, that I expect will go to someone not named Ben Cherington. Because this has been enough. If you're someone who, and I know for a fact that there are at least a handful of these people on this earth who think that he's done a good job or that he's worth keeping for another year or two because he got this pitcher or that pitcher or because his staff commendably got Connor Griffin. You're entitled to that view. In isolation, I'll even respect that view. But here's what I mean when I say in isolation. If Cherington right now was in, let's say, year 2 or even year 3 of his tenure, one could make at least a muted case for his retention. And I do mean muted. But he doesn't get that. He's not afforded that. That's not something he's earned. It's not something that he deserves. This lineup that Don Kelly's forced to put out onto the field day after day after day is the product of his 6 years of work, 6 years of around-the-clock, unlimited internal budget. And by that I mean staff and other expenses, because as I first reported earlier this year, he has elected to spend money on that stuff rather than on players. This is what it all comes down to. There is not a perpetual rebuild. There is not a license to say stuff like, well, we're really building toward this or that in 2026 or 2027. You've lost. The game is over. We've seen the 27th out. There's no more nebulous goals like we just going to get better. We just need to win more games or keep doing things to help us win more games or any of that other non-Pittsburgh nonsense. A GM is going to come in and he's going to look at Skeens. He's going to realize what he or she needs to do in the figurative blink of an eye. And it's got to be somebody with some guts. It's got to be somebody with a sense of urgency, a natural sense, not a concocted sense on Sunday mornings. Sense of urgency. It's got to be somebody who takes the job because they want to win. Charrington didn't win. I'm not stating that as an opinion. I'm stating that by pointing a finger at the standings. He lost. It's over. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern, located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar. North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers can compile your name, contact info, social security number, home address, even information about your family members, and they can sell it online. Have you ever been a victim of identity theft or harassment or doxing? If you haven't, you probably know someone who has. Delete Me can help. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Our listeners get a special discount today. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting HIT to 64000. The only way to get 20% off is to text HIT to 64,000. That's HIT to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. Hey guys, if you're planning to see a Pirates game, use the Game Time app to get your tickets. You can snag new ticket deals before anyone if you set it into app alerts. The app is easy to use, no surprise fees at checkout. You can see your seat view before buying, and you're getting legit tickets delivered on time. Now, if you're not much of a planner, you can get last-minute deals on tickets right up to the start of the event. Lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app and enter the code DKPirates in your app profile for $20 off your first purchase. Today's J1Q comes from Patrick. Not surprisingly, it's on a similar subject. Says DK, you've reported before the season, including this spring, that the dollars that Ben Charrington gets allotted for payroll covers the entire year. This intimates that since some allotted dollars wasn't spent in the offseason, that it could or would be used for in-season acquisitions. Since the past couple of off-seasons, dollars were saved for those theoretical in-season acquisitions, and they never came, why isn't that dollar figure allocated to future seasons, such as 2026? Seems like there would be a nice accumulation there. I know what my answer is, cheapness, but I'm curious to hear yours. Patrick, Bob Nutting is cheap. I've said this in the plainest possible language for the longest time. I don't expect to ever say anything differently in that regard. Take that, set it off to the side. The money that was allocated for the 2025 season, this one, and I'm not guessing at this, was a blanket figure covering baseball ops. I say that and you hear payroll. Specifically, you hear Major League payroll. This was covering baseball operations as a whole. All of it. The GM, as the head of baseball ops, was entrusted to do what he saw fit to get this team to the next level. Whatever they would have seen that as, I have no idea. What he did instead, and I'm not breaking any news here, I've reported this previously, was he used a big chunk of that money to build up his whole front office with more people, more analytics, more of this, more of that, while he went into spring training content to have Jack Sawinski and Josh Palacios duke it out for right field. That's who he is. I have repeated this so many times, but in case anybody's new, or even fairly new, because I haven't said it in a while, Cherington's worldview when it comes to his job is about winning the processes. He sees the Pirates as succeeding because he sees the processes behind the scenes as functioning according to plan. If that comes across as utterly insane to you, that's okay, because it is. The only objective at the end of the process for the Pittsburgh Pirates is to win the game that they're playing that day at the Pittsburgh level. Now, those of you who think I'm nuts or I'm nutting off the hook because you're used to hearing stuff that's wrong about this situation, and you hear it so often from so many places that you think that it's just the truth, are naturally, understandably going to have a hard time accepting this. A, because the other thing is so prevalent everywhere, and B, because this is, again, utterly insane. He spent the money. He spent it. He went and he stole some analytics guy from the Guardians. This was this past winter, and I'm told that they were celebrating this internally as if it was Game 7 of the playoffs. A season ticket holder later confirmed for me that this came up from a really prominent figure in the front office at some season ticket holders meeting. Like, oh, wait till you see this guy we got from Cleveland. And everyone's thinking, oh, somebody who can hit home runs? No, it's some analytics guy, but he's apparently a real star in the industry. That was Cherington's big acquisition of the offseason. So to try to answer your question, I'm giving you what I hope you'll accept as being a fair context first. Yeah, the money can carry over from season to season and all that other stuff. The reason that it didn't was that it was spent. It was spent. It just wasn't on stuff that you can see. I appreciate hearing from you, Patrick. I appreciate everybody who listens to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these on Monday.